Today is July 27th. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live here on Claibs Online, presented by Mungenast, St. Louis Acura, and Royal Banks of Missouri. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey. Rammer, what's going on?
How are you, sir? How are things in the Great White North?
They are great. I went today. I woke up early this morning and went down the street to check out the Hockey Hall of Fame.
I've never been. Was it impressive?
It was. You know who was really good at hockey? Wayne Gretzky. He was. His name is mentioned all over the place. But no, they had
blue centerman.
They did have what was a nice that by the way, that's the first Hall of Fame I've ever been to. Have never been to football, basketball, baseball, have never been to any of those. So that was a first for me going to a sports Hall of Fame. They did have an entire feature. It's called 9 and 99, to where on one side of the room it's all Gordie Howe. On the other side of the room, it's all Wayne Gretzky. And It is just from, I mean, literally, it is the first pair of skates that Wayne Gretzky owned are there. And they have all of his jerseys that he wore. They do have the Blues, the clown jersey that he wore with the Blues, and a little write up there about how he was immediately given the C when he came here for all 18 games of his career here in St. Louis. But they had all of those, and then I will say this: the coolest part of the exhibit for me were to see all of the different goalie masks throughout the years. They had all of just the ones that, I mean, it basically just looked like a pretzel that the guy just put over his eyes. From that all the way to some of the cool paint jobs that have been done over the years, even minor league hockey masks that had cool paint jobs. They had them on display there in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Maybe I'll get there someday.
Yeah, it's. Have you been to any of the other three?
Been to Cooperstown many times.
Yeah, so it's that's one eventually. I know for sure I will get there for that. But outside of that, Rogers Center, beautiful stadium. The roof was open last night for the game. Before the game, went to the top of the CN Tower, and you are able to look right in, and it's, with the dome being open, with the Rogers Center being open, you're able to look down directly into the field from up there. So took that in. The crowd there in Toronto gave Albert Pujols a really nice standing ovation at the start of the game. I was wearing my Albert Pujols jersey last night, which
you weren't in the press box.
I was not. No, I was there. I was there as a ticketed fan last night. It's sitting about 5 rows behind the Cardinals bullpen. So a very active Cardinals bullpen last night, all the way in the first inning.
Yeah.
So that sparked, a lot of polite Canadian conversation, and there were, I thought there would be more Cardinal fans there last night. Not as many as I thought, but the Cardinal fans that I did interact with last night, they were all very pleasant as well. One old guy had a T-shirt that was Fred Bird in a convertible, and it said something along the lines of like Road Warrior, Cardinal, whatever. And he was going to see a Cardinal game at every single stadium. And every time he went to a game, a new graphic was printed onto the back of his T-shirt as to which one he went to, what the score was. Yeah, so it was a pretty neat shirt that this guy had on. The game, the game itself, you and I sat here and did the show yesterday and talked about how we knew what we'd get out of Andre Palante when he went out there and started, and then he went out there and did that.
Yeah, unfortunate timing with a team that's the hottest offensive team in baseball right now. That's just a tough assignment for a kid like that. And, he after a rough start, he tried to right the ship a little bit, but too many pitches. And it was just that's a team that's on a roll right now. We saw it with the Cardinals the last 6 weeks of the regular season. That's the kind of roll the Blue Jays are on right now. The bottom half of their lineup that had been very disappointing the first 3 months of the season are all connecting now and all hitting. And it's pretty scary when a whole lineup is playing as well as they can individually, and they're doing it all together.
Yeah, Junior Fernandez. I think the magic dust has maybe kind of gone away with him. We talked about the fact that he went the first 9-10 outings of his season this year without allowing a single run, and really just no base runners at all. And now his last 4 times out in against the Dodgers, 2/3 of an innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and then the next day against the Dodgers, 1 out, 2 hits, 1 walk, and then against the Reds over the weekend, 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 run, and then Toronto. We saw what happened yesterday in that game against the Blue Jays. Just more runs for that. So I think Junior Fernandez might have been figured out.
Well, yeah, they teams get a book. Actually, what they get is video, and you study it, and it's not the same as facing a guy, but you know what you're going to get, and it's up to pitchers and hitters. It's always a game of adjustments. You adjust, then I adjust to you, then you adjust back, and it's that cat and mouse game that makes being successful in the big leagues so difficult.
Yeah. So they went out last night. You saw them go, and they Hicks again rough outing, Fernandez rough outing, McFarland rough outing, but those 3, I don't know. I mean, McFarland, you should imagine he's able to pitch tonight. Everybody else, all your good arms, if you get a lead, they should be ready to go tonight. There should be no problems if Adam Wainwright's able to give you a lead, or I guess the offense is able to give you a lead, and Adam Wainwright's able to hold them.
Yeah, in theory, and so hopefully that's the case. And we said the bullpen would be in good shape because of only a 2-game series, day off before, day off after. So if you can survive tonight, you should be fine for the weekend.
I'm stalling just a bit because we do have the Cardinal lineup. We don't have the Blue Jays lineup just yet. I'll get you those lineups before the end of the show here. But Rammer, quick aside, we need to give people a quick update on Juan Soto Watch 2022. He's a wanted man here in St. Louis, and we got some more news out of that today. This morning, Jeff Jones, the Belleville News-Democrat, he has an article out about saying that the Cardinals have, in his words, ratcheted up their efforts to get the deal done, saying that they are willing to add Nolan Gorman into the trade and also take on the contract of Patrick Corbin. And no sooner did that article come out that Grant Paulson of 106.7 The Fan in Washington, D.C. tweeted out from his radio show that Mike Rizzo, the GM of the Nationals, has ruled out adding Patrick Corbin to, ruled out adding Patrick Corbin's contract to the Juan Soto deal, saying that they were not going to dilute a return for any player by adding a bad contract. They said they want to get the most for every trade that they do. So, Rammer, here we are, a couple days away from the trade deadline. What are your thoughts on what we've heard today?
I feel better about it all the time. By better, I mean the Cardinals making a deal. We'll see. The Cardinals go to D.C. I would not be shocked if Soto came home with the Cardinals.
That'd be, yeah. I mean, if you're going to and that's a tricky thing right now because they go there tonight. They leave tonight. They go there. Do you want to make that trade before Friday, before the game tomorrow, because you don't want Juan Soto to hurt you before you start playing those 3 games against him? Is that something that's on your mind?
Well, what would you do about it? Okay, we'll give you all of our prospects so we don't have to.
That's what I'm saying. Tonight. I mean, I'm just saying, do you really want to have Juan Soto go off on Friday, cost you, and then you work out the deals of the trade on Saturday, and then you already have another loss?
But by that, you're suggesting that you could get the deal done today or tomorrow, but you're choosing not to. I don't think that's the case. I think they're just working through the deals, and probably the Mets and the Dodgers are involved too. And who knows, the Yankees might really be in with Stanton having the Achilles tendonitis and out probably 10, 15 days. And so maybe even though they've got a big lead, maybe they don't want to, I think it's the big boys and the Cardinals who I believe have a top 10 payroll anyway. Maybe you wouldn't call them the big boys, but at least the medium boys. I think that you got to work through the deal. And I don't think we can suggest that the Cardinals would hurry up a deal or slow down a deal based on games played. And the other thing is you have no control over what Rizzo what DC wants to do. You have no control over what his responses are and his response time to other suitors. I think the two things are probably not connected. But yeah, if you could avoid the guy going off on you, that'd be great. But that's just, I think it's coincidental to getting a deal done.
Apologize for the delay here and some of the connection. I'll blame it on the Canadian Wi-Fi up here in Toronto as we get ready to wrap things up for this episode of Daily Cards Live. Cardinal lineup for today, 6:07 Central Time start time, first pitch in Toronto. Adam Wainwright against Kevin Gausman, two very good pitchers on the mound for their respective teams. Tommy Edman leads off at short, Dylan Carlson in center, Tyler O'Neill in left, Albert Pujols at first, Brendan Donovan at third, Corey Dickerson is DHing, Lars Nootbaar in right, Nolan Gorman drops down to eighth, playing second, and Andrew Kisner is behind the plate. I know as I walked around the stadium yesterday, fans in both left field and the third base line were cheering on Tyler O'Neill plenty of times during the game. A big fan favorite up here in his homeland in Toronto. And then he came just a couple. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered one way or the other, but came just a couple feet away from a grand slam there at in the ninth inning last night.
Wouldn't that have been fun? Yeah, a couple of the hitters had okay nights. Cardinals just couldn't string anything together. And it's a depleted lineup. If you could have pitched a little better, maybe you keep it close, but it's kind of the game we expected.
Yeah, I am Rammer. I am on my way right now. I'm going to go up the road. So when I travel, I use this book. I go with this book.
Okay.
For all of my details and where to go. So I'm going to the Loose Moose, about 600 meters away from the hotel that I'm staying at, and I'm going to go get some poutine there. And then last night was Looney Dog $1 hot dog night. So all of the concession lines were just madness here at the Rogers Center, so I was not able to get my helmet food last night.
Oh.
I will get that tonight.
Did you get a dog? Did you get a cheap dog?
I was able to find one line. I did a mobile order, and I was able to get a cheap hot dog last night. But that was, the thing was worth $1. It's whatever people are paying for it tonight. They're
I got $1. Well, here's $1's worth.
Yeah, that's about what that hot dog was worth, and they got it right. But I guess that's just on Tuesday nights. Rammer, hey, we are brought to you each and every day by Mungenast St. Louis Acura and your friends at Royal Banks.
Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking. Check them out at royalbanksofmo.com.
He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. We will talk to you tomorrow. Matt Rocchio and Bob Ramsey will have Daily Cards Live as I will be on the road. We will talk to you then.
St. Louis Acura has almost 200 pre-owned vehicles in stock with inventory arriving daily and can offer the best trade-in value. While others raise their prices and fees, we choose to earn your repeat and referral business by not taking advantage of the current market situation. We invest in our team, becoming one of St. Louis's top places to work and fastest growing companies. St. Louis Acura remains committed to becoming better than ever for you. Located at Manchester and Mason Roads.